Welcome back to another episode of Amplified Impact. I want to talk about a book that's had a really profound impact on my life, something that I think is a nice, quick, short-hitting, hard-hitting read that you could get through probably in an afternoon or two. And if you actually implement the lessons inside of it, it's going to fundamentally change your life. I'm not going to spend a lot of time diving into the book itself, but there is a concept here I want to unpack a little bit. The book itself is called The One Thing by Gary Keller. At its core, the book is all about what is the one thing that if you were to focus on is going to pay the biggest dividends. It's going to move the needle the furthest. It's going to have the biggest impact on your life as a whole. And I think generally, as entrepreneurs, we have infinitely long to-do lists of things that all feel very, very important. But in reality, if you were forced to create a rank order list of what's the most impactful, what's the most important thing, that if I was to do this would have the greatest impact on everything else, we'd probably struggle to do that. We'd probably end up with a list of things where we look at it and we're like, this, and this, they all seem equally important. How do I discern? How do I decide between any of these? What should I focus on? So here's a framework. It's called ICE, I-C-E. The I stands for impact, the C stands for confidence, and the E stands for ease. At the core of this, what we want to do is we want to take our entire to-do list and we want to put them down and then create three columns for impact, confidence, and ease. And for each one of our tasks, we want to rank order for each one of these categories on a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 for impact is like, if I did this thing, this would be super impactful. 10 is super impactful. 1 is not. 5 is somewhere in the middle. C is confidence. How confident that I can do this thing, or confident that what I believe is going to happen will lead to the desired outcome. And this is an important one because sometimes we believe that this thing is going to be very impactful, but I'm not super confident in my ability to actually do it. So 10 is like 10 out of 10. I know I can do this. So like an example would be, for me, something that would be very impactful is writing a book. C is, am I confident that I can actually write a book? Yes, I know how to write a book. The E is ease. How easy is it to do the thing? Writing a book is not easy. So yes, it's impactful. Yes, I'm confident I can do it. But is it easy? No. I would put that at like a 2 or a 3. Okay? So now what happens is, if it's a 10 for impact and it's a 10 for confidence, it's only a 2 for ease, I have a score of 22. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the different things that are on my list. And I'm going to rank order them. And then I'm going to figure out, okay, which ones have the highest number? And it's a scale of 30, right? Like 30 would be the absolute highest. It's something that's super impactful, super confident, and super easy. Typically, the things that are important and really impactful tend to not be super easy. So you're going to get a lower number there. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out, where do all the tasks on our to-do list, where do they actually fall in terms of not just what's the most impactful, but what's the easiest and the thing that we're most confident that we can achieve. And that is a way of going through your to-do list and making sure that it's actually something you can get through. That the things that you're focusing on are actually going to move the needle the most. And so, tied into the idea of the one thing I do not believe talks about this framework at all. ICE is completely different, but it's a way I've found of prioritizing tasks, because that's the thing in talking with a lot of entrepreneurs and high achievers, is that they really struggle to figure out like, what is the meaningful thing that I could be focusing my time on. We've talked about the Eisenhower matrix in other videos, and the decision matrix of like, how do we rank order things in terms of importance and urgency. But this is another way of another framework that hopefully gives you the tool to apply to your to-do list. If you're at a point where you're struggling to figure out, what should I be doing with my time and my energy, ICE it, baby. Go through it and see where it falls. So for those that don't know, I'm Anthony Vicino, best-selling author. I've built a bunch of businesses. I bought a ton of real estate, and my biggest claim to fame, despite all of that stuff, besides winning the South Dakota State Chess Championship in 8th grade, my biggest claim to fame is just turning ADHD into a superpower. So my whole point in making this video, into doing this podcast, is to help entrepreneurs just like you hyper-focus on the things that matter so that you can maximize your return on life. And if you enjoyed it, then do me a favor, hit subscribe, go leave a review, share it with somebody that you would think would get some value out of it. And as always, I appreciate the heck out of you. I'll see you back here tomorrow.